This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place?
The taco place?
Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco Nation, when I score, Jackson pours. Each game I score a touchdown, head to Jackson's on Monday for a 49-cent fountain drink with Let's Go rewards. And don't forget your free banana, Jackson's. Let's go.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News. Game time is approaching, and we're getting you ready with the latest pregame news, interviews, analysis, and more from BNN. Have a pregame score prediction or comment? Let us know in the ICCU YouTube chat, or leave us a message on the Signature Roofing voice box at speakpipe.com/BNN. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud sponsor of Boise State Athletics and proud to support our student athletes through exciting NIL partnerships. From the blue turf to wherever life takes you, Lithia Ford of Boise is here to get you there. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho. The title sponsor of Bronco Nation News is RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. For all your painting needs, check out RowPaint.com. Now, let's head out and join five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show on Bronco Nation News.
Well, good morning, Bronco Nation, from the Lahaina Civic Center here in Maui. Day 2 of the Maui Invitational as the Boise State men's basketball team has another opportunity to pick up a marquee Quad 1 win here on the islands. Tough one yesterday for the Broncos. They get another chance today, Abe, to pick up a huge win. Hopefully they shoot better than you just did on the ball came flying over here. Abe let one fly.
I hit rim.
You were going, did it go backboard rim? I'm not sure.
It went backboard rim, but let's also be clear. I'm about 10 feet behind the three-point line.
So this is your range. This was your range right here.
Used to be.
This was
used to be right in the wheelhouse.
What was that movie? I can't remember the movie. They told the guy to take realistic shots or something, and he went and sat on the bench to take the shot because he never got to play. So, this is prime Abe Jackson range. Right behind,
maybe
10,
used to be
10 feet behind the line. But
I think that's the first shot I have shot, like on a 10-foot hoop, probably 5 years.
Wow, how about that? Well, appreciate everyone for watching. Hopefully you can hear us okay, see us okay. It is day 2 of the Maui Invitational. Let us know in the chat if there are any issues. Abe, such a great opportunity yesterday against USC, back and forth game, and had every opportunity and just couldn't hit an extra shot or two, couldn't get that big stop when they needed to. And Leon Rice said, hey, in a game like that, one play decides it, and there were 10 kind of those one plays. It just went either way, and just a lot of them went USC's way.
Well, it seemed like against Wichita State, when Boise State needed the score or they needed the stop, that's what happened. Against USC, it was almost the opposite. It seemed like when they would get to a point where they could stretch a lead and up 2 with the ball a couple times, they came up empty. And I swear, I didn't count it, but I swear USC hit a 3 when they were down 2 like 5 times, it seemed like. It seemed like we were up 2, then all of a sudden we're down 1. And then we come up, we get up 2 again, and then they hit another 3 and down 1. So USC made the plays when they needed to, and the cold shooting kind of stuck around for the Broncos again.
Show you a live look right in front of us here. You can see Boise State, Andrew Meadow putting up some shots from the corner. Dom Parolin here as well. And that's one of the early storylines of the season, Abe, is the outside shooting, the three-point shooting, and 1 for 12 in the first half yesterday, finishing 5 of 25. And individually, you look and see a lot of good shooters on this team, but for whatever reason so far, largely they've really struggled and definitely struggled yesterday to get the three-point shots to fall.
Yeah, but what I like about it is that they're getting good looks, and that's the first thing that you want to do. You don't want to be forcing things and taking bad shots. I don't really think they're bad shots. They're just not going down right now, and so you just got to kind of battle through it, and hopefully they can come out of that. And because it's hard to survive in college basketball with the three-point line now, and so many that are taken and made. It's hard to survive going 1 for 12 and a half.
Now, I've always said, Abe, I'll pretty much do anything my subscribers, if you're willing to pay and buy a subscription, I'll do whatever you guys want. There's multiple people in the chat saying that it'll be good luck if I do part of this interview with the white shades on. So should I, do I go for it here for a little bit of the interview? We're in Maui. We're in Maui. And you know what? I even have I think I forgot to pack them back in, but I had the lave too. I'll have to look for that and see. But the defense, I thought for the most part played pretty well in that game.
They did. I mean, the defense has kept them in games when they haven't been shooting well. It's what really, I think, won them the game against Wichita State. I think they started 0 for 7 or 0 for 8, but were only down 3 or 4 points because of the defense, and then came back and won that game, and they kept them in the game against USC as well. So, if they can put together that defense, but then go, I'm not even saying go like 50% from 3, but shoot like 33%, maybe 38% from 3, I think you're going to come out with a win.
And it just, Andrew Meadow, we see him shooting the threes here in the corner. I thought there was stretches of that game where he kind of disappeared a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, no one really had a great game. I mean, Buchanan, he had 18 points, I think, but he was 6 for 16 from the floor. There wasn't just any standout offensive player in that game. Carmichael played really well. I think that what he did. I'll say that Carmichael was maybe the standout in that game, but you could probably say that about a lot of the players, right? Like they were flashes, and then they were just kind of gone. Fielder, a bucket, and then just nothing there. And then Dylan Andrews, 8 turnovers in the game. And so, it was just one of those games where there wasn't a constant performer the entire time. But again, you with 4.2 seconds left, and you get a pretty clean look at a 3 to tie it up, and you with that offense that they played, decent.
Certainly a game they would have liked to have had. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. Would have been just a massive win for the resume yesterday. But I did think if we're talking about a 31-game season, finding things that big picture will help you moving forward, things that are encouraging moving forward, and hopefully, depending on how today's game goes, it's the same thing. You find things that once you get to conference play can help you. I thought there were a lot of positives yesterday. One of the bigger ones for me was the confidence and the swagger appeared to be back for Pearson Carmichael.
Yeah, he did. How he moves was back. Like he has this kind of this flow, I think, to his offensive game where he just kind of, just in and out. It's not a really quick move where there's a stop and then a start and then a stop and then a start. It's more just kind of like flowing through and getting to your spots and knocking down shots. And so he had that flow back, and hopefully he can keep it going because they're gonna need him. You have to. He's one of your better scorers, and they're gonna need him this year.
And Nato, A.G. Nato, the freshman, he's gonna have his freshman moments. He's gonna have that one head scratching turnover where you kind of just go, "What are you thinking?" But he is really quick. He can get to the rim pretty much whenever he wants. Defensively, he can cause some havoc. And when he got some separation there with 1 minute and 40 seconds to go, he hit a massive three-pointer to pull him within one.
Big shot. And he's fun to watch play. He's just so intense out there. I mean, he kind of gets into guys too, and not just defensively, but like kind of in their face and a little bit of a pest to him. I see he puts his forearm on the guys, and then they try to knock it off, and he puts it back up there. And so he just kind of gets in their heads, and, he's extremely quick. I love his defense. And, as a freshman, to hit a shot like that at that point in the game was pretty big.
Now, I found this kind of interesting, Abe. It's probably nothing because, as you said, Leon Rice teams typically get to the arena kind of late. But we got here when there was almost an hour and 45 minutes till tip-off, and like half of NC State's team was already out here shooting and moving around. And in these 3 games and 3 days tournaments, every second you're on the court, every piece of energy, you got to be smart with how you decide it. And Boise State elected maybe get here a little closer to tip-off. They're still here for their kind of normal 45 minutes before. I mean, they're here in plenty of time, but I do wonder the contrasting styles there. NC State trying to get the body moving a little earlier in the morning, getting more shots, more work-up. Boise State, it looks like maybe thinking less is more today.
Well, and I think a lot of it is just the routine. Like, what's your routine? If a game was at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when do you get there? You just stick with the routine that you have, whether or not it's a 9:30 or if it's some other time. And the Broncos, I think they're kind of just on pace for what they usually do, warming up. But you're right, NC State was out here 45 minutes ago when we got here, and doing some stretching and some warming up. So it'll be interesting, kind of where the mindset is of these teams too. I mean, you have an NC State team.
I wanted to bring that up.
The NC State team who knew the game was over with like 6 or 7 minutes left. Right, they were down 12-15 and just couldn't do anything, and it was pretty much over. And then you have Boise State, who didn't know it was over until the buzzer sounded. Right, and so you have these two contrasting mindsets taken away from the game that you had yesterday. And I think coming into this game, a good start will be helpful mentally, because coming off of a loss, it's just a little bit tougher to like battle through some poor shooting or battle through some mistakes that you have.
Well, you also had an NC State team that was the favorite to win this tournament, and they lose in the first game to Seton Hall, so they're kind of like, definitely a mentally deflated, I guess, from that standpoint. They were supposed to win this tournament. Now here they are playing at 9:30 a.m. again in the losers bracket game, and then you have Boise State, who poured so much into that game. They lose, and then they're like, oh, we got to play another top 25. We got to play an even better team the next day. Like, what?
Well, we were talking in the Uber over, BJ, that if Boise State wins this game, they're probably going to end up seeing Texas. Is there a harder stretch in the history of Boise State basketball than 3 games in 3 days against USC, NC State, and Texas?
I hope we're talking about that tomorrow.
I know. That's pretty wild, though, isn't it?
Yes, that is pretty crazy.
If Boise State beats NC State, that'd be because I think Texas is going to handle Chaminade.
Yeah.
I think so. So, pretty interesting.
One thing that we've always talked about with Leon Rice teams is that toughness factor, and that a factor to put one loss behind them and not let it turn into 2 or 3. Obviously, as a former player yourself, I mean, usually at least get a couple days in the regular season to put a bad loss behind you, or not bad loss, but just such an emotional loss in the game yesterday. What were the last 24 hours like, you think, for this team? And you see them out here stretching and warming up. How tough is that to I know it's new day, new opportunity, but for college kids to get them to really wake up this morning, believe in that, how tough is that?
It's where you lean on your coaching staff and you lean on some of the veterans who've been through games like this, because in basketball, you have no choice but to move on. You can't think about it for a couple days because there's just the next game right around the corner, and really right around the corner, less than 24 hours with the game today. So I think a lot of it, it's hard to prep. I mean, the coaches do a good job, but when you have 20 hours to look at who you're playing, a lot of it just comes down to what you guys are going to do, what you can control in your own team, and then also recovery. If there was any bumps and bruises from last game, how do you recover and then get a good night's sleep? So, it'll be interesting, and also to see maybe if there's some other minutes for some bench guys that come in, because with 3 games in 3 days, I mean, the fatigue sets in pretty quickly in these later games.
Would you expect the energy that we had in yesterday's game to be the same today? And I know it's earlier in the morning. Boise State fans, brought it, and I think they still probably, I would assume, we'll bring it again. I'm curious the mindset of the NC State fan, because they had a big following that came over here, but they're obviously just as disappointed to be in the losers bracket as well. 9:30 a.m., 2 kind of, as you said, disappointed fan bases. I wonder what the energy will be like in here this morning.
I'll bet it won't be as high. I mean, it was intense. It was a lot going on in the arena yesterday. But I think the Boise State fans are going to show up, and I think the NC State fans are going to show up. Both teams aren't in a game that they wanted to be in. But once you get into the game and you start playing and the energy starts getting there, I think the fans will get into it again.
What, as a final thing from yesterday, moving forward to today, what Boise State did play a lot of guys. And I know Javen Buchanan, I think, still played 34 minutes. Dylan Andrews was over 30 minutes. But the fact that some other guys did get some minutes, I think Drew Fielder only played 21 minutes. Some of these other guys as well. Is today maybe a game where the depth can start to show for Boise State?
I think so. And maybe get a little bit more out of Fielder, so he's out there. Aaron's maybe some more minutes from him as well. So, yeah, I think the depth in a three games in 3 days stretch is going to be pretty big.
You cool with Keene starting? There were some people in the chat. They said, you need more offense out there. But some of the offensive rebounds he had, some of the things he did, I think R.J. Keene is still a very valuable piece of this team. I thought he showed that yesterday.
I don't know who you'd put in at his position, especially with the way that he defends. I mean, he pretty much locked up Baker Mazzara yesterday. He was 4 for 10. I think got 11 points in that game, way below his average. So you know what you're getting from Keene, but what you also need is the guys who are the scorers to do their job too and knock down some shots when they get open. So if Boise State didn't go 1 for 12 from 3, now he was part of that 1 for 12, but if they don't go 1 for 12 from 3, then people probably aren't saying that, he needs to be out of the starting lineup.
All right, I know you got 13 minutes and you got to get breakfast, so I'm going to let you go with this. Only negative so far, Maui Invitational. The breakfast wasn't ready on time, right? But
10 minutes late.
How could they possibly do that?
I know.
But free media complaining about free food.
Right,
but,
right.
Keys today, and I know yesterday Boise State dominated the paint, but watching those guys warm up, they look like they've got some big and athletic dudes.
And not just like tall like some other teams and tall and skinny. These guys are 6'10" and look like about 250. So there's some big dudes over there.
So what are your keys for the game today? Boise State, big opportunity here to get a big win.
Yeah, it is, and I think you'll be able to still go inside. I mean, these guys have shown their ability to score over some bigger players, especially Buchanan and Fielder Pearson did a nice job yesterday taking it inside too. So take it inside, but I think I don't know if this is a key to the game, but just hope you knock down some shots. I mean, you're running offense well enough to get your shooters open for the spots where you want the shot to be taken. They just got to knock them down.
Well, hey, appreciate your time, man.
Yeah.
We'll see you hopefully a little better post-game today.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Appreciate it.
All
Abe
right.
Jackson, nice enough to join us here on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show on Bronco Nation News. Cody Goggler is going to join us here in about 10 minutes as well. We're going to catch up with Cody and talk about some various things going on with Boise State athletics. And they get set for the football game on Friday. You see the Broncos getting some shots up in the post there. Going to be a very interesting game today. NC State, again, they've got Darian Williams, the preseason player of the year, had 32 points in a game this season. First team all ACC pick. Averaged 15.1 points per game, 5.5 rebounds at Texas Tech last year. He's up to 21 points per game. Paul McNeil Jr., the 6'5 guard, 14 points per game as well. He's shooting 38% from 3. They've got a lot of guys that can really light it up and score, and they're a big physical team. I mean, they're starting 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", 6'9". I mean, they've got some big guys out there, and then 250, 220, 225. They got some it's going to be another physical game in the paint today. And I was talking to Abe and Bob in the Uber yesterday, I think whenever it was. And it was we were on the shuttle yesterday after the game. And really, if you'd have told, Boise State fans, you get you want to win the tournament, sure, I understand that. But the main goal over here is just to get some quality games and try to get quality wins. And, yes, the game yesterday didn't go the way that you wanted it to, but you get an opportunity today to play an even better team. I mean, if you win this game today, all of a sudden you're like, the whole outlook of this tournament is completely different. I mean, and if you had to pick, who would you have rather beaten, USC or NC State? I think when the season's all said and done, you're going to be better with the NC State win in terms of it being a bigger win. So, big, tall task today, but you could not have asked for anything else. A down-to-the-wire, exciting game against USC, and here you go again, getting to play a team like NC State. I mean, I don't know, fans, would you guys have felt better if you lose this game today, but you're competitive again? Would you feel better about, that long-term, or beating, Washington State or Chaminade by 15 points? I don't know. I think that I think there's pluses and minuses to everything. You obviously want to win games, need to win games, but this experience and playing these kind of teams, you're not going to play teams like this the rest of the season, aside from maybe a Utah State or a San Diego State. These are by far the best teams that Boise State's going to, for the most part, see all season. And you're getting it early in the season. You're finding out some of your strengths, finding out some of your weaknesses. And even in losses, even when you lose, like, those are still quality games that are going to help the metrics moving forward. I mean, they moved up 2 spots at Ken Palm yesterday, and then as USC continues to play and improve their metrics, that indirectly affects Boise State. So would have been a massive win yesterday for Boise State. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. Really, really, really would have liked to have had that win. It would have been a nice resume building win, and you would have got to play Seton Hall in the second game, and could have been. And this is the reality, though. You lose this game, and all of a sudden you're playing another D2 team in the 7th place game, and a game that doesn't really count for any of the metrics or anything. And but you win this game, you get to play Texas tomorrow probably. So another game with kind of massive swings here, because yesterday that was kind of the theme all day. Once you saw NC State lost, you knew, okay, the loser of this team has to play NC State. RJ Keene looks ready to go here, folks. He says, "Oh, we're ready." All right, RJ Keene just gave me the "we're ready." So that's good to hear from RJ Keene here. Watching from the indoor football facility at practice, Johnny Ballgame. All right, moved practice indoors today. Johnny, how you doing? Hawaii is amazing here. Loving it. First time in Maui. Really, really, really cool experience. The only positive, at least for some of us here and the fans and everybody else, about the loss yesterday and the earlier game today, is you do get a few more hours this afternoon. So I may actually go step foot on the beach today this afternoon if we get a chance. We'll see. Johnny giving a live report that Max Cudforth looks sharp. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate that. Max Cudforth looking sharp, according to Johnny. Let's see here. We are due for a complete performance today. Everyone will be firing on all cylinders today. Go Broncos. Yeah, 5 of 25 from 3. You'd like to think. I would just say the metrics don't necessarily line up with that. Right now, technically USC is a little higher, but coming into this tournament, USC was not higher. NC State was 19th coming into the tournament, and USC was, I think, 27th. So they're very similar. But either way, it's 1A, 1B. This would be another quad 1 win. Quad 1 game, and it would be a massive win today. And so this tournament, again, you'd like to win the tournament, of course, but if you can find a way to win this game today, and then you get to play Texas tomorrow, suddenly you're looking at a opportunity to do what you wanted to do, get a big win. And I guess the point is not all is lost after the game yesterday, but, in 2.5 hours, we could be saying something completely different. Got to hit some threes today, folks. That really is a big key to this game today. Boise State has to find a way to hit some outside shots, and really early in the game. Hit a couple early, get some confidence. NC State, what's their mental, aspect coming into this game? If you're an NC State player, you were supposed to win this tournament, you lose the first game. If you come get punched in the mouth by Boise State and it's 9-2 early or something, maybe they kind of mentally check out or something. I don't know. I just don't think you want to fall behind early and give them confidence, in this game here. So I think this is a big opportunity for Boise State, but I really do think it's a situation where Boise State needs to get off to a good start. Hit a couple threes, too. You're struggling from the outside. You go 5 of 25 in your game yesterday. Get some confidence rolling. Get feeling good about things. And I think that would certainly help if you're Boise State to see the first couple go in. See a couple go in early and get some confidence here. Moving forward. You see the guards here going in the corner to get some shots up. 33 minutes on the clock. Again, Cody Goggler going to join us in about 5 minutes, and we will talk Boise State athletics with Cody. A lot of things to discuss with him. Please give us a game versus Texas. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? This is the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. We appreciate the 315 of you watching live here on Bronco Nation News. Not quite the excitement or the hype coming into this game as yesterday. I am curious what the fan, in the arena here, what the atmosphere will be like, because yesterday was just electric. And I do wonder, both these teams in the losers bracket, is it even more intense trying to get your team a win, or is it a little more reserved where teams, it's maybe not quite as much on the line here? But this is a massive game for Boise State. This is a game in November that could have implications in March. It really is. And selfishly, for my Thanksgiving plans with my family, I could really use the Boise State win tonight, because as of now, my flight tomorrow night would have to get moved because of the 7th place game, and wouldn't be able to come back until Thursday, and miss the big Thanksgiving with my family and have to go straight to Logan. So selfishly, I know I tell you guys I'm not a Boise State fan, and I don't have rooting interests, but if there was ever a game where I had personal reasons to want to see Boise State do well, this would be one of them today. So I would be extremely happy if Boise State could find a way to win this game and not screw up my Thanksgiving plans with my wife and extended family that are all coming in town for Thursday. So, and there's my wife watching the show right now. So, yes, if there was ever a time I was rooting for Boise State, let's just say I would take a Boise State win today because it would help the Thanksgiving plans for sure. I'm trying to look for the ranked wins for Boise State. They've beaten San Diego State when they were ranked. I mean, Chase, I don't think it's that far back. You're probably trying to say, oh, they never beat any ranked teams. It's been, several years. I think it's been I don't think it's been that far. The Mountain West has had some ranked teams that they've beaten. I want to say San Diego State's been ranked in the last couple of years. Let's see what else we got here. I'll have to look for that. But big opportunity today. USC, and again, Darion Williams, their player of the year. Don't forget, he was at Nevada his freshman year. Freshman year, he was at Nevada. Went to Texas Tech, and now he has gotten that big bag of cash to go to NC State. Let us know where you're watching from. Get those score predictions in. We got about 30 minutes on the clock. We're showing you Boise State warm up here as they get set for the second round of the Maui Invitational. Playing NC State here in a couple of minutes. Cody Goggler going to join us. Let me thank a couple of great sponsors. You're watching this show free of charge. The only local media outlet that made the trip here to Maui. Thanks to our great sponsors, including roepaint.com, roepaint.com. Get 20% off all your painting projects. If you tell them that Bronco Nation News sent you, roepaint.com, best in the business, folks. Concrete coatings, interior painting, hit up roepaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. They got 7 NIL deals with student athletes. They're back on board as an official sponsor with Learfield. Bronco Nation News. We really appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Best in the business, that mobile eBranch online banking. Hit them up, ICCU.com. Hey, Taco Bell, SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. We appreciate Taco Bell for their support of Bronco Nation News. Saw the Nicolason family here sitting courtside next to Matt Boucher there yesterday. So appreciate TacoBellWorks.com. The SON Management Group, again, Taco Bell. We appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. Taco Bell Works. Get those new crispy chicken strips with the great options there at Taco Bell. Hey, Jackson's, they got that 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night, from our friend at Jackson's. Make sure you hit up Jackson's and get that 99-cent coffee using your Let's Go Rewards app. And hopefully if Latrell Capel can get in the end zone Friday, you can get that 49-cent fountain drink on Monday from our friends at Jackson's. And big shout-out, thanks to Travis Hawks, the Blue and Orange store as well. Get those customized jerseys there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame location. They got the 4,000 hats on the hat wall. And also have the location there at the Boise Town Square Mall. But, of course, as always, you can order anywhere in the world online at the Blue and Orange Store and theblueandorange.com. And shout out Jim Sturk, Jamie Drake, Lithia Ford of Boise. We appreciate them as well. Lithia Ford of Boise, never a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. When you're talking NIL and supporting, there's not many that support Boise State in a multitude of ways bigger than Jim Sturk and Lithia. And we appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News over the years as well. Lithia Ford of Boise, view their full inventory online at lithiafordboise.com. All right, we are back live, and as you see, we have a special guest joining us, Cody Goggler, nice enough to join us here. How are we doing, sir?
Good. How are you doing, BJ? Happy
doing
Thanksgiving,
great. Yeah, you too, man. Appreciate it. Was just talking about a win today would be much better for my Thanksgiving plans. We got family coming in town Thursday and having to change the flight. I wasn't expecting to be in the 7th place game tomorrow, so if I was ever rooting for Boise State to win a game, it might be today. I'll just tell you that. But I know yesterday, Cody, obviously maybe the final score didn't go the way that you guys would have liked. But what an atmosphere! What a experience for these players, for the fans. I saw you and Jeremiah up there in the stands, getting after it a little bit. I mean, it was kind of again, I know the final score sucked, but it was kind of a pinch yourself moment for me yesterday, just seeing where this program's at, and that was a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, man. Make no mistake about it, BJ. We're here to win. That's the expectations for this program, and that's what Leon has built. But, when you take a step back, I'm really happy for Leon and the staff and Boise State University for continuing to invest and believe in this basketball program. To get to the Maui Invitational and be a part of events like this will help us continue to grow our brand. Obviously, as a competitor, and I'm competitive, Jeremiah, everyone, we're just so competitive. It was a devastating loss yesterday, and I know the guys were down, but the fun thing about these tournaments is you get right back at it the next day. So, hey, we got a great opportunity in front of us with NC State.
What is the mood of the guys? I think you rode over with the team and just obviously less than 24 hours to put this one behind them. But I was saying earlier, of course you'd want to win the tournament. That's the goal, obviously. But the main goal is just to get quality wins and quality games, and obviously a big-time opportunity here to pick one up against NC State.
Yeah, and these are important games for our resume. And so, again, no excuses here. We want to win these games, but this team is still figuring out its identity, as is every other team across the country. So, through a loss like that yesterday, there were a lot of positives. It was great to see Peanut get back to where we know he can be. We were physical yesterday. We played well as a unit. We were tough. And I think even in a really interesting way, we picked up a lot of confidence in ourselves last night after that game. And so I think you're going to see a team that comes out here today and plays with confidence. NC State's legit. That's why you come to tournaments like this, to build on your resume. And so I'm excited to see how this team responds.
The fans are now entering the arena. They've opened the doors here. 26 minutes on the clock until Boise State and NC State. And as I mentioned, Cody, yesterday, you guys have about 200 people plus in your traveling party here. You got a lot of family members that made the trip. It's been fun to see them at the hotel and chat with some of them. But a lot of fans and supporters and boosters. And, my wife's convinced that Matt Boucher single-handedly made that ref call that offensive foul with 6 seconds left. He was right in front of him, courtside, pointing. I've seen a lot of great supporters here. What does this mean, big picture, just for your supporters, your fans, for this program to get an opportunity here? You got Dan Schulman and Jay Billis on the call. You're on national TV again today. It's just like I said, I kind of pinched myself yesterday, but for this program and for your boosters and your fans, you guys traveled really well. This is a pretty cool deal.
Yeah, I think it just signals again that Boise State belongs at this level of college basketball, and we say it all the time. And we're obviously a couple days away from Thanksgiving. How grateful we are in administration for Bronco Nation. This is one of the best fan bases in the country. They love Boise State. I'm reading all these comments here. It's a Tuesday in Idaho right now, and we've got people that are just locked in and ready for this game today. And I just want you to know there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that work so hard in college athletics and do not have what we have, and we do not take that for granted. It's really awesome to be here, and I think for us as a program, as an athletics department, as an institution, it's not just about having a seat at the table. It's what are we going to do when we get there, and I think that's the next step for this program. And you start that today at 9:30 a.m. Hawaii time against NC State. Yeah, 372 awesome. People right now back in Boise, excited for this game. Is today Leon's birthday? Yeah, the biggest birthday party Leon has had in a long time. Quietly kind of gave him a hug this morning. He's locked in, and I'm sure tonight, after the game, we'll have an opportunity to celebrate. But it's his birthday. I won't say what birthday it is, but because we're not counting. But man, for Leon to be able to share this in Maui with his closest friends and family, I'm excited for him. It's funny because the only positive about having to play at 9:30 is if you guys can win this game, you got an extra 2.5 hours this afternoon on the beach for the fans and everybody else and things. But Cody, talk to us about college athletics right now. I know you're heavy in the Bronco Pro and the roster building in this, and we're seeing guys like Darion Williams here for NC State that played a year at Nevada, freshman of the year, then goes to Texas Tech for 2 years. Now is getting a huge amount of money to go to NC State for a year. You guys obviously brought in some guys, and money was a factor for some guys from different places and keeping guys. What's this like for you? And as you continue to try to build this, what is now amateurism's gone, unfortunately. It's roster building and it's budgets and it's salary, how much you have to spend and money balling it all together. And what's that been like for you, and how are you guys trying to stay ahead of the times and with the times, frankly? Yeah, BJ, through chaos is always opportunity. It's always about your mentality and your attitude towards change. And we have the resources. We have enough. Bronco Nation has been so good to us. Our Bronco Pro team is elite right now, how we work with each of our head coaches and how we recruit. We're using this as a tool that can align with the brand of who we are to recruit the right kind of student athletes to come to Boise State. It is complicated, contract law and attorneys and agents and budgets and how do you punch above your weight. But when you look at this team out here on this court, this team belongs, right? That is an investment that Jeremiah and interim president Shin have made to this athletics department. And so I'm excited to be a part of it. Right now, we're kind of going through our first iteration of, what roster. The Carmichael family's ready to go. They're fired up. They're fired up. Big game for Peanut coming up. Yeah, well, that's a great segue. Peanut had a hell of a game yesterday. Like, we're constantly evaluating with integrity and doing things the right way how we prepare to bring Peanut back next year. every time that we see the Carmichaels or we see the families of our players here, we are re-recruiting them every single day. Boise State's a special place, right? We don't have to be Oregon, Ohio State, Tennessee, Michigan. We can be Boise State and still be a competitor in this industry. But it's a new era. And so there's always opportunity in the transfer portal. You're watching, I saw yesterday, Seton Hall had a guy on their team. This was his 4th different team in 4 different years.
Yeah.
And that's his story.
And Chad Baker-Mazara for USC yesterday.
And you know what? Like, to have an opportunity to go make the best of your situation and be the best version of yourself, sometimes you have to go to a Boise State from another school to do that. And so we're going to use it as a tool. I'm excited. And ultimately it's still early in the season. So, when guys have good games or bad games, you have to see the full aggregate play out on what their valuation will look like for next year.
I wanted to show this because you don't have to comment on this, but this is not typically a pregame drill. This is more of a practice drill. And I saw a couple of guys on NC State down there kind of laughing at him, kind of chuckling at him if they're going this hard here in the pregame warmups. Boise State's bringing some energy here. Mike Burns is ready to go, and they're getting the juices flowing a little early here. And I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I took a couple of those guys kind of peeked down and were like, wow, what are they doing down here? We're 20 minutes till tip-off. But contrasting styles, I guess. And RJ Keene leaned over and said we're ready to go today a little earlier. I mean, it seems like these guys are locked in here.
Yeah, we know the importance of this game. We know where we stack in the ratings and metrics processes and the net and the KenPom and all that. This is a huge game for us, man. It's not the last game of the season, but it's an important game, and it's a resume-building game. We know where we're at. We know the kind of work that we have to do, and so there is a sense of urgency today that exists. I love it, and I'm just proud of our team, man. Like when your head hits the pillow, bury it and move on, and they've done that. And today's a new day, and I love this staff, man. This staff is elite, and this isn't like, hey, we're going to the beach, and I hope we can win a couple of games. We came here with the expectations of winning every game that we played. We fell up short. You obviously came up short yesterday, and I'm fired up to see how we respond this morning.
What as you guys get ready for the Pac-12 conference here, especially from a basketball perspective, this basketball league is going to be such a big. Basketball is going to be such a big part of this. What else are you guys doing and trying to prepare in advance and in terms of doing what you guys can to put this program in the best position, come July 1st?
Yeah, grateful for Jeremiah, and how he continues to navigate with the other ADs and presidents as we finish this package. We're not all the way done with our media rights package. We've been open about that. We're really now getting into the scheduling phase of what is our football schedule going to look like next year. We're kind of at the end of that process, and would hopefully be able to expect to send some information out at the turn of the calendar year for football specifically. We're doing the same thing right now for basketball. What does championship season look like next year? Where are we going to play long term? Where's the tournament going to be? And so when you start, this is a new conference, and we've discussed that at length. And so there's just so much that goes into that. We have a short runway. I like the brands that we have in the Pac-12. That doesn't mean that we're done. That will continue to be an iterative process for us. But at the end of the day, when you look at, and we're just talking about basketball right now, when you look at where we're starting next year, it will be critical for us in our non-conference scheduling process to make sure that we get the right amount of games and the right format, whether that be home, MTE, neutral, so that when we get to conference play, we can have the tightest strength of schedule as a unit and try to deepen our opportunities for the postseason next year.
What do you make of everyone says that the players era is kind of ruining college basketball because it's all about money and NIL and paying these players, but they're empty arenas in Vegas, and you come here yesterday and watch these games, and you can't tell these kids and these fans that this doesn't mean something, and maybe they're not getting paid and maybe you guys had to pay $30,000 I think it was to get in this tournament. And it's a long way and expensive, but Maui is just so special, and the Bahamas and some of these tournaments. What do you make in terms of the future, and are places like Maui going to have to start paying the players to get good, other teams that can want to come back, or what do you see about the future of NIL in terms of these MTEs?
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to find a way to stabilize their financial situation, and so whenever it is interesting right now to see how the players era is doing this. You saw the announcement with the Big 12 and how the Big 12 will have a minority equity stake. It has purchased essentially a minority equity stake in the tournament. You look over here to the banner to the left, man, this tournament has such brand value and tradition, and it's an elite experience for the athletes. So that field that's announced for next year, Arizona, Ole Miss, BYU, Clemson, Washington, Colorado State, it's a great group, Providence, VCU. So I think tournaments like this will continue to will thrive. But, yes, there is a financial component to it. That's a part of life. That's a part of economics in college athletics as people continue to stream and watch the events that we put on. The cost of that will continue to grow. The cost for our athletes will continue to grow. I'm not saying I agree with everything, but there's two ways that you can approach it. One, you can figure it out, or two, you can wait for someone else to figure it out. And here at Boise State, I think you know how we approach things. It's always about what's next. We're going to put everything that we have into this process to make sure that Leon and Spencer and the rest of our coaches have an opportunity to be a part of the next era of college athletics, because I do believe we can win championships at Boise State.
Now, I know you guys are I don't know what I'm supposed to say, planning some sort of announcement, I guess, where you guys have some stuff in the works here. I know you. We were hoping that maybe you'd be able to talk about it today. You can't right now, but what can you say about what folks can maybe expect as you guys continue, as we said, kind of what's next, kind of move forward here with some things?
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to kind of give some insight into that. You know, we're always looking at how, especially as we head into the Pac-12 next year, how we can best position our home court advantage in Extra Mile Arena to just make it difficult for opponents to come in and win basketball games. In addition to that, you know, we're sold out in season tickets for 2 consecutive years in Extra Mile Arena. We've grown our membership in the BAA from 3,500 members in 2021 to over 9,000 members in present year to date. And so when things like that happen, we're always evaluating how we can put our best foot forward with our fans. And so there will be an announcement that will more than likely be sent out via email to men's basketball season ticket holders this afternoon, and it'll be tailored around Pac-12 readiness and home court advantage and what we are planning for Bronco Nation next year. So that's going to also be an iterative process, but we're planning now to make sure that when our opponents come into Extra Mile Arena next year, that it is the best environment in college basketball.
Well, Thanksgiving on Thursday, Cody. I know with the Black Friday game, for all of us trying to get to Logan, not the easiest schedule here. I know Jeremiah is going to go back Wednesday night, get about 3 hours with his family, and then get on the plane with the team. How are you getting to Logan? And I know you were lucky enough to be able to have your wife on this trip. I know you got a lot of things to be thankful for on Thanksgiving here as well.
Man, we get a lot of text messages, and you know, people see us and they know that we're working hard, and it's such a privilege to work hard for Boise State. But you know, sometimes people will be like, "Hey, how you doing?" or you know, "You okay?" And it's like, man, like I'm in Maui for college basketball with my family, and we are so grateful to be at Boise State and to be at this stage in college athletics. And a week like this is something that you don't take for granted. And so, you know, I'm excited about getting back down to Idaho and getting over to Utah for the football game on Friday. There are a couple of our supporters that were on the same flight. We're going to have Thanksgiving dinner with the team Thursday, and then that night we'll jump on a red eye, fly into Salt Lake, land at 6 a.m., have a rental car waiting on us. I'm hearing it will be snowing potentially when we get there. We'll make our way down to Logan, and you know, I've prepared appropriately. You know, in my suitcase, I've got the cold weather gear, and we're going to go down and try to win a football game and be there for that. And I'm excited to see what that looks like on Friday, and then potentially chaos again with the computer rankings ensuing this weekend, depending on who wins what games this weekend.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had planned to take the red eye tomorrow night to try to get home for a few hours on Thursday to see my family for Thanksgiving. And this a 7th place game wasn't what I was expecting. So I'm really hoping that we don't have to worry about that. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the travel schedules as well, and trying to get to Logan on Friday. And hopefully Friday night I'm booking a flight to San Diego.
Come on,
for the next weekend.
Wouldn't that
right?
be something, right? I got my receipts. I told you that.
They kind of owe us one in terms of the weather. The weather was not. They owe us some better weather, and they also I think Boise State may owe. You guys may owe. I'm not sure there would be anything else on loop playing in the team facility all week than Sean Lewis's pregame video, but or postgame video. But
hey man, he's a hell of a coach. You know, good for them for getting their program back to where they are. But yeah, anytime you put anything on social media, it's there forever. And we'll take it one game at a time, and believe in Spencer and believe in what they're doing, and just grateful again for Bronco Nation for the, I think, 14 now or 15 consecutive sellouts that we've had. And and you always want to give yourself a chance at the end of the season to compete for championships. And, we had kind of had a season like this a few years ago, Spencer's first, when he was interim head coach. And so we've been through this before, 1-0 mentality, and be able to be grateful to play the game and compete for championships. That's where we're at.
Big opportunity today, Cody. Enjoy it, and appreciate you for coming on the show. And nice crowd again for Bronco Nation. I was kind of curious what the atmosphere would be like. Earlier game, losers bracket game, but it still has
it's electric in here, man.
It is again. It does have the feel, because I think both teams know, and particularly on Boise State, this is like I said, a win now that would help you in March.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, BJ.
Thanks,
Bronco
man.
Nation,
Appreciate
happy
you.
Thanksgiving. We love you, and hope you have a safe and happy holidays.
All I know, Cody, is when you came on, we were at like 350. Now we're at 470. So they were scrolling Twitter and saw you were on and had to stop and watch, I guess. So
I'm going to go back and stand in the shadows. That's where I belong.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Go Broncos.
Cody Goggler, appreciate him. Nice enough to join us here as we get set for tip-off. Boise State and NC State coming up in about 10 minutes or so here on Bronco Nation News. The game will be on ESPN2. You get Dan Schulman and Jay Billis again on the call today. You see Boise State getting some shots up. They have not left the court since they came out. We talked about it earlier. Very contrasting styles. Now they're heading in. The Boise State fans over there in the corner making some noise. Nice crowd again on hand. There's Mark Sanchez, Seth Robinson firing up the crowd right there. Dan Atkinson. There's Stan Nicolason as well. I see our man Kerry Simons, his lovely wife. He's fired up. A big contingent of boosters and fans that made the trip here. And it looks like it's going to be another nice crowd at the Lahaina Civic Center. A massive game for Boise State as they try to help boost that NCAA tournament resume yet again with a big win today. And nice crowd. It's a really nice crowd again. I wasn't sure what the crowd would look like for this early of a game. Deb Grant saying the boys are looking loose and sharp. And, you had contrasting styles. NC State's been here for almost 2 hours. Boise State showed up about an hour before tip-off and got their work in and conserved a little energy maybe. And we'll see how they come out and play. Obviously, I know I'm giving you crazy analysis here, but this game could go one of two ways. This could be a game where, Boise State comes out, the better team, hits some threes and wins. And if you get ahead in this game, maybe NC State kind of just caves in. They came out here to win this thing. They're already 0-1. I mean, you saw last year UConn go 0-3 in this tournament. So I could see NC State kind of checking out if they fall behind early and Boise State, have a chance to win this game. Or I could see NC State, who probably on paper is the more individual talented team, coming out fired up and mad and win by 20. I mean, this could go one of two ways. This is a very, very good NC State team. And I think this is going to be a very tough game for Boise State, but that's what you want. I mean, I really do think you would have rather have a chance to play this game, and even if you lose by, probably a better for you than beating Chaminade or Washington State or some of the other teams in this tournament. So it's a big opportunity. You're playing the two best teams in the field in the first two games. The way the bracket was set up was a little interesting with Chaminade and Washington State. Washington State gets into the semifinals now. They're playing Arizona State in the other semifinal. But I don't think Boise State wanted to play Chaminade. I know you're in this, quote, semifinals of the tournament, but I don't think that really matters. Would you like to win the tournament? Sure. You just want quality games, and I don't think you want to play Chaminade in this tournament. But and that's another reason why you really want to try to find a way to win this game. So about 8 minutes away from the buzzer going off. The game will start over on ESPN2 in about 10 minutes. Boise State's defense can win championships. Three-point shooting isn't there yet, but that's really the difference. Got to find a way to hit some threes today. Cannot go 5 of 25 from three-point range. I think that is pretty apparent that if Boise State wants to have a chance in this game, they're not be able to go 5 of 25 from three-point range and have a chance to win this game here today. We're waiting for Boise State to come back out. Give us some score predictions. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll give some shout-outs. But I do want to thank a couple of great sponsors for making this possible here to be the only local media outlet that made the trip and the investment and the cost to come cover the Maui Invitational. That includes our friend Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. We bought and sold our home using Matt and his team. They did tremendous work, and we really appreciate Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate for their support of Bronco Nation News. Check them out online at BoucherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. Find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off from the checkout line at shopridleys.com. Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. You can get into the trucking industry. All the paperwork and everything you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Check out Transportation Compliance Service online at transcomservice.com. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. If you're looking for a sauna, spa, pool table, and more, check out Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game online at thespateam.com. And hey, we want to hear from you on the Signature Roofing voice inbox. Speakpipe.com is that website. Speakpipe.com. Leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox. Signature Roofing, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, they got you covered online at mysignatureroofing.com. The Boise State fight song is playing. The Broncos have taken the floor. Going again with the home uniforms. Boise State, the bottom team in the bracket, so they are once again the home team here in Maui. You see the team down, or the fans down there. Really nice, large contingent filling that half behind the Boise State bench. NC State fans here over to the left behind their bench. And this is our seat courtside here for Boise State and NC State coming up here in a few minutes. So many guys that can tack the rim, don't need to live and die by the three. Don't even have to shoot threes, turn those threes into twos. Easily yesterday walk out with a win. I mean, that's fair. They were dominating in the paint. Could have said keep trying to do that, but I don't know if that's going to be quite as easy today. NC State has some big guys, and it's going to be interesting to see how the battle of the interior today, and if Boise State is able to have as much success as they did. NC State, I believe, went red. Yeah, they're red. They're getting ready to come out themselves. NC State is in the red uniforms. It'll be red for NC State, white for Boise State. Again, our special is live. If you go to BroncoNationNews.com, 75% off our Black Friday special. We would love to have you guys subscribe if you can. $26 gets you a full year of Bronco Nation News. We would love to have you support our efforts here, the only local media outlet that traveled to Maui. We would really appreciate it if you could help us out. And the coverage we provide, I think, is more than worth it for you for $26, 75% off. All the recruiting coverage from Brandon Huffman, locally with Chris Van Sickle, doing a great job covering recruiting. You got Nathan's analysis, Mike Prater's columns, all of my work, Ball Talk with Johnny and Sanford, all the exclusive shows. $26 gets you a full year of BNN. Just go to BroncoNationNews.com, click the subscribe now button in the upper right-hand corner, the join VIP, and you can get a one-year VIP subscription for just $26. We hope you will subscribe and join us at Bronco Nation News. But really appreciate everybody for checking us out. Excited to be here in Maui. Somebody was saying that Boise State would win if I put the shades on before the show. So Boise State, they're looking to get it done against NC State. Big win for the Broncos. Would be huge. Big game coming up here in 5 minutes over on ESPN2. So having fun in Maui would be much more fun if Boise State could try to get a win today. So Boise State, NC State, time to get it on over on ESPN2. Appreciate you guys for checking out the show. Thank you for supporting Bronco Nation News. And going to be a lot of fun to see if Boise State can respond and bounce back after the game yesterday against USC. Broncos, big-time opportunity on the big stage, and we got you covered every step of the way. This has been the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. Join us after the game. We'll have the Jacksons postgame show. Interviews, analysis, live interviews, all kinds of stuff on the postgame show. Looking forward to the postgame show, the Jacksons postgame show coming up right after the game. But from Maui, flip over to ESPN2, enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you guys postgame. We'll be on Twitter, of course, stats, information. You can follow us at BJ Rains, at BNN Bronco Nation. Been a fun trip already and another opportunity for Boise State. Big-time chance here against Will Wade and NC State. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll talk to you on the postgame show. Bronco Nation News, live from Maui. BroncoNationNews.com.